Don't forget the dream. Never forget the dream. And y'all need to go hard, man. Make everything a reality. I know sometimes you get tired, sometimes you feel like giving up, but never focus on the negativity of everything. Focus on the strong side, focus on the positivity. Wake up strong, wake up feeling good, even if you know you're having a bad day, man. Just think about it like everything happens for a reason.
From Corner Jude and De Beer, Imene Msindisi Wesi, Umvelisi Nqabo Melis Wesidwe, formerly known as Lwazi Madonsela, bringing you a show about creative entrepreneurs live from the landmark that not only birth SA street culture but also formalize the street hustle.
Corner Jude and De Beer, special edition, youth edition. It's rare that I have my peer, age group wise, creative wise, thinking wise.
Lovely in there.
Dudes who are pushing it. We have Piwo Zembe, aka Sleazy, photographer, former rapper, designer, publisher, the culture savior, a creative from Culture Collective.
It's too much. It's too
Hype
much.
collector, sports collector. Has been at every one of these things. You've worked with homies from freshmen, try to work at Creative Corner.
Yes.
Finally did your own thing. How are you doing today, my good sir?
I'm good, man. I think it's just another day, get the bag, go hard, but I'm good. I'm good. How are you?
That's highly favored. I think for me, every time I look at it, it's always like, yo, how many peers do we actually have in this space? Because sometimes I feel like I'm ostracized. I'm left with the older homies. And when you find dudes like you, Senna made the connects, like, yo, you need to check this dude out.
Yeah.
And then I'm researching, I'm like, this bro got a LinkedIn, this bro got history. How important was school in your journey?
You see, with me, school, I always made sure, for a lot of people, they think school is just something that you take as a backup. Yes, it's a backup, but you're also in school because your parents say, yo, go to Jersey, please make sure you pass, but on the side, you can do your hustle. So I made sure to finish school. I did PR. I did so well in my first year that I was able to get marketing. And then I decided to say, hey, let me take marketing and PR, put them together, studied them, and graduated.
Sure.
Yeah.
How does that actually affect your current business as part of the runners and owners of the collector?
It taught me a lot about the corporate side of business, so there's different types of PR, but I'm more in media and event relations, so a lot of people tend to lose the plot. They will create a business and then they'll think, oh, hey, okay, I've created it, let me get the numbers and boom, that's it, But with me, I learned the background of it, you need to know how public relations and marketing works to put out your work. So with my business, I turned it into a PR and marketing company at the end of the day, and that elevated me towards a lot of positions in the industry, working at festivals, working with clients, working with brands, all of that panned out luckily in my own way, and that's how it all came together. I just knew what I was doing, even though I didn't plan it, but it all came together eventually,
How do you switch from, you get to Jersey, you go to school, you wanted to be a rapper, to the person you are right now?
My journey is pretty crazy. So originally, high school, I missed my matric dance. So I started photography, but I started with a phone. I had like the Samsung S4. I was the kid with the latest one.
Shout out Samsung.
It was hard. Shout out Samsung for that one, And then I started taking pictures of people and then edited from time to time. I just post them. And then a lot of my peers would be like, damn, bro, yo, you good at this. And I was like, oh, for real? And then I said, okay, let me keep doing it. And then eventually I got a camera, started posting my work on Instagram. I was one of the first up and coming hot people, we didn't have it back then. Back then it was like normal school, pass, get out, and then I was one of the first creatives in matric. I missed my matric dance because Shane Eagle hit me up. It was my first big gig. He hit me up. He's like, yo, bro, I have Back to the City. I need a photographer. Come through, and he paid me. And then it's like, I came through. Operator Shane Eagle took a couple of pictures of Back to the City 2015. My first Back to the City. I was young. I'm seeing the spaces, I'm meeting Reason, I'm looking at all these guys and I'm like, yo.
Shout out Elakai.
He's like, yeah, shout out Elakai, like these are the artists. And I'm like, damn, this is dope. And then as time went by, I was a dancer too. And I started dancing, and then I went with the flows, and I started hitting the, you know, the crumping and all of that. You know, I was in hip hop space, you know, and there was beautiful events like Strictly, Masters of Rhythm, all of those stuff. And from that point, when, I don't know, music just shifted, you know, dancing wasn't the thing because we were on the New Boys and the Jerk at the time, and then it phased out. And I decided, okay, photography, I might have to take a step back and focus on school, you know, and that's when I passed matric, came to Jersey, lived in Bram. I became a Bram kid, you know, it was like Skiscrew vibes.
You were a proper Bram boy because you were at South Point as
My
an ambassador.
brother,
Well.
South Point as
Shout
an
out South
ambassador.
Point.
Shout out South Point as an ambassador. From South Point, I think 2 years. Then I went to Bram Gates, you know, so during those sessions, I was doing music. You know, it was like, oh, damn, okay, I'm with my peers. They're all creators. They're doing music. And I was like, let me try that. Tapped into music. I did get some noise. Had a feature with Cash CBT, Should Be Yuang. You know, I had all the young hot guys at the time, you know. At the time, I was even shooting for Patrick, but then I stopped photography.
Shout out Lee, man.
Shout out Lee, you know what I mean? And then from there, I thought to myself, you know, music is dope, but I woke up with the idea that, damn, every day I'm waking up and I need to know that my competition is Black Key, Costa Teach, Benny Chill, all these guys, you know, and shout out to Benny Chill, Costa Teach, and all these guys, because I literally, I moved with them, you know, they were around me as I was living in Bram, and when they were around me, I learned that I need to add value. Now lockdown came and I needed to add value. So I'm a rapper, they rappers, but when lockdown ends, damn, how am I going to be with them for that long period? You know what I mean? Like, it's either I have a reason for being around them, or I'm just going to be that guy who's an artist, and then, you know, they hot, and then I still have to come with it, you know, so it's always pressure. So that's when I decided to start my business. And my first company wasn't even Culture Collective, it was All World. All World was just something I felt like, damn, I just want to support everyone around me, you know. So I was always with Costa, I was always with these people, Benny, Phantom, everyone. And I said, you know what, let me push them. You know, I just started a page, started posting their stuff, going hard. I was dope with gifts. So I did this gift story of Burna Boy, and he re-mentioned, and I was like, Burna Boy? And then I was like, okay, this thing is dope. And then they started asking like, yo, bro, this is All World page posting us. Like, who's this? And then when they heard it's me, they're like, what? And then they just said, you know, my brother, what you're doing is actually a really dope concept. That's when I started learning about the world of Freshman, and I heard about Creative Corner. Slick on Life was the OG of it, you know. And then
Slicker come to the show.
You know what I mean? You gotta come in so slick. But that's just how it panned out. And I wasn't happy with my first company. It was doing well. It got to 20K followers, but I was like, nah, this is not it yet, you know. Yeah. So during that period, when I worked with Freshman, we started a podcast called Culture Radar, which was dope. We hit it nicely. It moved. We did the first season, and then I just didn't like my company. I wasn't happy with it. You know, I wanted something more. I left, and they eventually, one of the main founders was like, yo, come work with us by Freshman, you know. And then I almost had a chance also to work with Creative Corner, but you know, things were panning out too quick. I had to move, so I ended up working with Freshman, pushing what I gotta do. I joined them at like what, 25K followers. From there, it was like onwards. I kept posting, you know, blogging was my thing.
How do you move from 25K to half a bar?
For me, it's mostly about consistency. So with content, a lot of people think content is based off just putting out. Let me tell you something. Once you learn consistency and quality, you're good. You know what I mean? Like, you're really good. But if you also know the right content, better, you know. So for me, I just always knew what was the right content. I didn't know that PR and marketing was the space I was meant to develop in until I started learning more about myself as me, you know. And then I realized I like helping people. I like putting on people. I like working with different creators. I don't like being bored. Bored is the one thing, like, it's actually the one thing I fear. I fear getting bored and not being able to do anything else. So that's how I always pan out to different things, you know. So when it came down to the whole process of taking a page and getting it its followers, it was just like, okay, I need to find the right content, the perfect content, content that resonates, content that people have a nostalgic feel to it. You know what I mean? So if I post something like GTA 6 moments or San Andreas, and I'm going on a mission and I'm posting that, you're gonna be like, oh damn, you know what I mean? So those are the classic things that sometimes bring people together, pop culture, but also focusing on your talent out there.
Do you think it's valuable to capture moments, or do you think it's more important to create original content? Because we've noticed with South African media, there's not much original content. It's like everyone is turning into one part of complex. They're not turning into the holistic part.
100%.
Because the closest we've seen with most media companies is that they do event capture, which I feel like is a bit tricky. It's a thin line, because you won't do it better than Austin Malema.
I can't even fight it. He's too much.
So where's the actual media landscape supposed to land? Because you're a visionary. You've been doing this long.
Here's why I'm going to tell you both. Here's why I'm going to tell you both. Remember, creating content, original content, is a time-based thing. You know what I mean? A lot of people are not patient. Time is literally their enemy, like when it comes down to it, you know. So creating content, you have to do it for your business side, because when clients come or brands come or whoever, they want to know, oh damn, what am I getting out of this? You know what I mean? But at the same time, also grabbing is an essential, because you have to support the market. How else are you going to get your target if you're just creating? Sometimes it's nice to call the people, but sometimes you don't have the time to call them. So if you pan them both, if you can make the time to say, you know what, maybe in the day I'm going to shoot this content, but at the same time at night I'm going to have schedules of other content that's just posting, putting out, supporting people, so that when they get to it, they're like, oh damn, that's me, you know. So it helps, yes, to create your content. I'm not gonna put that down. That's very important. That should probably take even 60% of everything. But 40%, you need to support a market to get a target. Some people also want to feel good about their work, you know what I mean? So when they post it themselves, they may not get the numbers that they want, but it's a beautiful picture or an amazing video. So sometimes taking that and putting it out on a big platform, and people are like, oh damn, numbers, it really motivates them to continue.
Your big platform. How feasible is it? Because everyone is like, yeah, my thing is growing. There's kids who are blogging right now. Yeah. They're looking at your blueprint. The same way you look at other blueprints, you're looking at it. But how feasible is it as a business?
Okay, so with me, I can't say we're all doing the same thing. I like to say we're all doing different things. So right now in SA, let me just put it, you know, national. In SA, I'd say the OGs, when I look at it, for me personally, I always look at like Slicker, Yomzansi, they've been around, you know what I mean? They have their shine, but Slicker is more doing it with the artists, and then Yomzansi is more with the brands. So they're in their own, you know, market. So it's the same thing as right now, a lot of people are looking at it as the three main heads, you know, your culture collector, your creative corner, your freshman, you know what I mean? And each of them have a different thing. It's not, I know a lot of people always think, no, these guys doing the same thing. The only thing that we're probably doing the same is posting. But if you also go through our post and our publication, it's different things. So when it comes down to freshmen, the kids, they're really doing it. You know what I mean? When it comes to events, they really got the kids like that. When it comes down to Creative Corner, managing artists,
yeah, I think they've taken over.
They've taken over. I even like say, yo, y'all are doing it. But brand-wise, no one is upscaling it like us. You know what I mean? We are actually killing it in brands. We get more of the brand partnerships more than anything. We've worked with a couple of heavy brands, especially this year. I'd name them, but I can't name them. But you know what I mean? But we worked with a lot of brands, and there's a lot of brands that we're already partnering with. So it's just been a difference in lanes. You know what I mean? But a lot of people always look at it as like, oh no, this one's gonna publish music like this, one's gonna publish music like this one's gonna. So we are so construct to the mindset of focusing on one thing, artists. That's what the other young blogs are doing at the bottom. It's artists. Don't do the same thing that another publication is doing, because even if you do, it's a crowded market. It's very hard. And then now you're going to try pen out to us. So if a client comes and says, hey, there's this publication, they're paying this amount, I thought to post me, but damn, they're still freshmen. Yo, I'd rather go there, you know what I mean? Because there's numbers. So it's harder.
You know what's crazy? I have a theory, right? I think all these brands pop up when Hunting for Kicks peaks. And this is when Samuel was still running it from the background. And for me, Samuel did a perfect balance with the brand work and was still within culture. It was never too music swayed. It was always like, what are the kids doing? What's actually fly right now? Let's balance it with the fashions and do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But post that, now we're seeing this bigger surge with you guys coming in. And when you guys come in, you figured out how to talk to brands. 100%. What would you say to the young kids who are not even in the space of publication, but in the space of creating content? What's the consistent message you get in these boardrooms?
Okay, personally for me, guys, like, I just feel like, do your own thing. You know what I mean? A lot of people are trying to portray someone else's vision. Don't copy someone else's vision. I just think really create your own vision, you know, lead your own path. So a lot of people get lost in the idea of, I want to do exactly what he's doing. I want to do exactly what he's doing. You know what I mean? The platform I love, I won't even lie to you, is Complex. You know what I mean?
Shout out Mark Echo.
Shout out Complex.
Mike Echo, come
you
to
know
the
what
show.
I mean? Like, he's I couldn't fight with him. He was a genius with that. You know what I mean? But you'll find Yo Mzansi, their favorite people is Hype Beast. You know, so for culture, we saw it as, you know, culture is everything. Culture is dance, culture is music, culture is fashion, all those types of stuff. So I like to give the word out to people that if you're gonna focus on something you love. You know, so for me, I love culture. I love being at dance shows. I love being at musician shows. I love being at festivals. I love being at fashion shows. So that's why my brain is panned out like that. Culture, you know, Hype is music, Hype Collectors music, you know, Style Collectors fashion, you know, Pop-Up is actors, you know what I mean? You know, sport, self-explanatory, sport, you know, so I just really like, I want to be everywhere. So if you feel like as a creative, you want to be everywhere, find your niche. Don't try to copy a niche that everyone else is doing, because you're going to suffer. That's how you get bored, because when someone else comes with a new idea and then you are trying to copy that idea, it doesn't always pan out the same way. Don't duplicate an idea. It's like when someone blows up, everyone wants to, when Waffles blew up, that door opened and everyone started going through that one door. Everyone wanted to be a DJ. Like, why are we following the same door? Why don't we just open up another door?
Now I have a question for you. You partnered up and did the DJ conference.
Dango.
You're opening the door even further.
Yeah, of course.
What was the reason?
Okay, so there was, shout out to DJ Lebza, the villain. So with him, he brought us an idea of, we learned that a lot of DJs don't know what they're doing. They just play. You know what I mean?
They
so
sequence
they forget. Yeah, they just get there, play. You know, it's a pretty face behind the decks. It's not always the compelling idea of this DJ is gonna be hot. You know, so when it comes down to this conference that we did, it was more about bringing a couple of DJs and giving them the secrets and the source to it. You know, so we invited people like Thuli, Scorpion King's manager. We invited a couple of other people that are in the same genre of music, whether it's in business, whether it's in like, you know, I would call it like Richie playing and everything. So Lamiz was one of the people also. So it was really dope that people could ask questions they didn't even know. No one is actually doing that to help out. We didn't do it just to say, let's put DJs on or what. We did it because there are certain things that they're just not hitting, you know, and everyone is trying to do the same thing that maybe Waffles is doing or maybe DJ Success is doing, but you can really do it in your own way. TXC did it differently. You know what I mean? The A-listers did it differently. There's a lot of other DJs that are coming up that are doing it differently. So why not try become that DJ that does something better, you know? Because there's a DJ that's behind the decks and there's a DJ that's an entertainer. comes out, rocks the crowd, gives them a mode, and you're like, oh, this one is too much, you know. But there's also a DJ just behind the decks, and you're like, okay, I can't really shoot content of that DJ. Like, they're just behind the decks.
I want to make an example, but
oh, floor is open. I'll be brutally honest.
I think those are the DJs.
No,
Like Ready D doesn't do crazy stuff. Kabza doesn't do crazy stuff. He's just behind the decks.
yes, but Kabza came at the right time.
Taking you through a musical. That's also fair.
Kabza came at the
How do you
right
feel
time.
timing plays in your business?
In my business, it's all about the journey. I think if you're the first to start it, you're probably going to be hot for that period until you come with something new, because eventually people younger catch up. They start figuring it out, and then nowadays they come with something hot. So even the young bloggers, they still figuring it out, but some are coming with it, you know. So a lot of people like to say with our business, our publication, how it looks, the way we did our banners, the authenticity of everything. A lot of people like to point out that, damn, you guys are the ones who started this thing, you know. And then we like to say that, yeah, but do you know how many banners we've worked on? You know what I mean? They assume it's one, but we've worked on like already 7 banners that we always come up with a new one every time. So with my business, it helped in such a way that, yo, dude, we just became the front line. We were the underdogs. Like, on God, we were literally the underdogs. Like, I think when Freshman and Creative Corner were hit, they were already on like 100K followers, and they were moving, and we were still on like our first 15. You know, and then we started running it up, and that's when everything changed.
How do you establish a team? Because at first it's like, yo, I'm doing this thing.
I'm weird.
but now Sleazy has to go talk at a conference.
Oh, I'm weird how I establish my team. With my guys, you can ask all my guys. I DM them. I never ever met them. Everyone that I picked in my team, I DM'd them. I just researched them, figured them out, and I DM'd them. So even the way that happens, it's like a certain period of patience, talking to them every day. Yo, what's going on? Yo, bro, let me teach you something. Post, do this, come alive with this. This is how banners work. You know, this is what we can do, you know, and then eventually they learn it, they pick it up quick. And that's when they picked it up quick, that's how I realized that, yo, I need you in my team. Yo, I need you in my team. I need you in my team. Let's do something. Let's create this, and this.
How do you keep them happy? It's a lot of people.
Motivate.
Because I think that's what I've noticed. Like all of us who've worked under someone, at some stage you start feeling this thing of like, yo, I can't be in your Porsche every day, big homie. I deserve the Porsche too, without understanding the thing that maintains that Porsche.
No, for real. For me, it's just been about motivation. With my team, yes, everyone gets paid. Luckily, you know, thank God. But
shout out to the brands.
Shout out to the brands. But it's not just about. Sometimes it's just not about the money, bro. Sometimes it's just about creating your own family aside. So they need to see your trouble side. They need to see your side where you're good. They need to see your side where you're sad. You know, just to understand your people. So with me. How I keep them happy is I motivate them every day. I tell them, yo, you guys can do so much more. You guys got an account that's on 500,000 followers. You can't tell me you can't make a bag today. And they make a bag every day, you know? So I really just motivate them. And as someone who's the founder, you know, I always have to do 10 times better. You know what I mean? That's how they actually get running with me. They say you can't run with the wolves if you know you can't keep up, you know.
What's the reasoning to not centralize everything? Because there's a hype collector, culture collector, sport collector, this, that, this,
I'll explain that. Yes, it's dope to focus on one company and move with it the whole way forward. But with culture collector agency as a whole, it pans out for a broader market. You know, we can get deals from anywhere and everywhere. So if I'm one publication, the likely chance of us getting a deal is minimum. You know, you'll get a deal, but you'll get a deal in pieces. So with us, the nice thing is the way we panned things out, we're getting something for sport collector, you know what I mean? I didn't want to say this. I should have said it. Okay, like a super sport, you know, we already tied with them, you know. So it's a pen out thing. Even with a style collector, it's fashion. You know, we get chats from people like Timberland. You know what I mean? So everything pans out. Culture gets different market. Hype gets labels, record labels that are always coming through. Yo, we have a deal for you guys. Can we work on this? So imagine you have different sectors of the company, but each sector is bringing in a deal. You know what I mean? So I'm talking like having a building one day and each floor is a different department. You know, so culture, hype, sport, blah, 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 blah. So that's the dope thing about putting everything in different paths. And the funny thing is I got that from Complex. You guys are online. You know, that's actually how they did it. If you look at it overseas, most of the big ones, they have different ones. Vice, Complex, Hypebeast. So that's the whole narrative behind it.
What's the business of culture from your perspective?
like my OG, you know, rest in peace. Ricky said, you know, the culture is everything that you do. You gotta pick something up, you know. So if you are a creative, you can't really distinguish yourself as a creative if you haven't picked something up. You gotta pick something up, try it out, and shoot it. Man, you're doing a podcast. Damn, let's put that up. You know what I mean? You didn't just wake up one day and just say, hey, I'm gonna do a podcast. You woke up with an idea and said, I wanna make this thing come to life. You edit it yourself, you make it happen. So culture is the creation of something and putting it out there. If you are rocking a festival, no one just says, I'm gonna do a festival. They come up with the idea. One person wakes up, I wanna do a festival. That's culture. Oh, I wanna do a photo shoot. That's culture. So culture, I know a lot of people base it off tradition and everything like that, but for me, it's always been about everything and anything that's got to do with the arts of creativity. So if you are creative and you are putting out creativity, that's culture. That's how you literally have to pan it out. You can either be the person that watches the way, or you can be the person that follows the way, or the person that
makes the way.
Makes the way. You know what I mean? So culture, you gotta narrate it in your own path for people to get it. And when people get it, that's how they love it. Ricky gave us culture in his own way. We never die, we multiply. That's culture.
You guys set up the memorial for him.
Yeah.
How important was that for you?
I mean, that one straight to the heart. Shout out to one of the freshman founders. He actually came up with the idea, and then we basically worked on it together. But the memorial, Braam, it had to be in Braam. You know, Ricky was always there with the pop-ups. He was always there with the kids. That place is the culture, you know. So it was I don't even know, it was a very sentimental moment, you know. We didn't think a lot of people would come like that, but there was a lot of kids. Everyone came. They brought their balloons. You know, even I shed a tear at some point because it was beautiful to see, bro. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I've never seen that type of thing happen in a long time. And when Ricky came, you know, I only saw it for Greens. Shout out to Greens, voice of Joburg, you know, miss him. But when it was Ricky too, it was like, damn, we really lost a big one. Like, you have to look at it. What broke my heart was when that happened, we lost the new wave. No one talks about the new wave anymore ever since we lost Ricky, you know. And when I thought about it from that period, I was like, yo, no one's really focusing on the kids like that. Think about it. Like, now it's just mainstream artists. No one hears about new wave.
But then it brings the question as, were they really the new wave, or were they being anchored by Ricky's presence?
That's the one thing that annoys me so much, because once Ricky was gone, we realized it was anchored by Ricky's presence, and I wish it wasn't that. I wish it continued, because I look at it sometimes like, where are the new wave parties? Where are the young gases? Where are the Flexecutions? You know, like, even for hip hop these days, like, there's not a lot of hip hop events like that, bro. It's literally, the only ones holding it down is probably a Back to the City, maybe a Homecoming, a Cotton Fest. You see, like, you know, Rocking the Daisies is not even like, is it a South African event? It's not a South African event like that, Rocking the Daisies.
Yes.
So
it was founded by Georgia Vacant.
Yeah, so imagine like...
Shout out Dale.
Shout out Dale. But imagine like, yeah, like, it's not hitting like that even for hip hop when it comes to events. So it made me like say, Ricky was an anchor for a lot of things, bro.
I have a lot of thoughts on SA hip hop.
Let me hear you.
I think SA hip hop musically is currently at its peak. Before, I think.
Yes and no, but I'm gonna come back to it.
I'm gonna tell you why. In a hip hop sense, we're peaking. Like, dudes are rapping, and a lot of dudes have figured out how to make music. But the problem is that a lot of cats right now haven't figured out how to make South African music.
True.
Like, when dudes trap, you'd swear it's Playboi Carti.
True. I'm not even
When
gonna
dudes
fight
are doing
you
his
on that
mandem, you'd swear it's the guys from London.
one. Fact.
But in terms of making South African music, so for me, it's always the debate I have with everyone. I'm always like, Casper's best album is Tuto. And Tuto, for me, top 5 best albums of the past decade
Okay.
in hip hop.
Okay.
Because one, there's genre-bending songs. There's Superman, there's the moment where he's emotional. It's like it's a character arc. So I always feel like a good album arcs. That's why, personally, you can find me in the comments. I don't think Levels is an album. I think it's a compilation of great songs.
Okay.
I don't think it's an album, but Touch My Blood was a storyline going up.
So you prefer Touch My
and it
Blood
goes
over
down.
Levels?
As an album, yes.
Okay.
As songs, I'd always go to Levels. But if I want to listen to one thing for an hour of a drive, that's what I'm doing.
And then Mass Country?
I'm just getting into it, so I can't really give a fair opinion. Also,
Mass Country's hard.
I always hate listening to posthumous albums, personally, because I feel like you didn't lock it yourself.
I really want to
I
hear,
want
I want to hear your
locked.
opinion when the new Ricky album drops. I hope it's coming.
I told you my views of Family Values. Family Values was good, it was not great.
Okay. But I want to hear with the new one.
Packaging, great. Referencing, great. Visuals, great. Because Ricky also embodied hip hop holistically. The lifestyle, the swag,
Everything.
this, that. But if we're gonna talk about Sikukotini, like you have to say Smee talks about clothes better. If we're gonna talk about North Life, that's Ricky. That's where he was winning.
Yeah.
If we're gonna talk about the kids, that's Ricky. I think more than anything, he was a community anchorer, more than he was a musician.
That's true.
Right? So even right now, the new rappers are not fly.
Hear me
The
out.
piano cats are fly. Like when I look at Foka, I was with Foka, I was like, I even said to him, like, you fly in real life. Right?
He's dope, man.
Like for me, it's like
Shout out Folk.
when the way you look, the way you carry it, the way you do
feel.
it, you know,
The
even when
aura
we
when
see
you
you, it's
perform.
like K-pop or
Yeah.
dog. You know, and I think a lot of cats don't have that right now.
I think, okay, with hip hop, see now we're getting to the very touchy, sensitive topic. See, hip hop, here's what I feel now. Yes, you're not wrong. A lot of these kids are grabbing the sound from overseas. Your Playboi Carti.
But they're really good at that.
No, they're good at that. But
we
it's
lost-
not gonna hit the market here.
We lost Karakar.
Yes.
We lost
the intention
Ubuntu.
of SA.
We lost.
But now, the other thing about SA, we consume too fast. And no, listen, hear me out. We consume too fast.
Java
And
sold out a concert series of one album, bro.
no, I'm not fighting
He
that.
performed no other song.
No, I'm not fighting
I don't
that.
think we make classics anymore.
I'm
That's
not-
the real fight.
I'm not fighting it. You're not wrong. You're right. I'm just saying that we consume too fast, and then also at the same time, if you don't mix your English sound with your vernac sound, it ain't gonna hit like that. Sometimes in SA.
Always.
So the reason why I know my money's hot right now. I just need a check. You know what I mean? Already, I understand it. Like, okay, I know everyone's gonna sing the hook, but if I say sing the verse right now, most likely they won't catch. Some will catch it. You know. And then wait, listen. And then these kids now, they're also trying to travel. They're not trying to get stuck here. You know what I mean? So here's what I'm saying. The Koilas are hot. The Koilas came with it. But the question is, will they get overseas? That's how dangerous the market is. Because the sound, you need to find out if your SA sound is also gonna work overseas. Some of them go, some of them don't. Tyler came with Water, but you can't say that's exactly SA sound alone. Because the whole album wasn't full SA sound. It's tricky.
Niggas can't export their sound because niggas sound like the countries they try to perform at. Right?
True.
And secondarily to that,
But some it works.
Not really.
Tyler, it worked.
Not really. For AKA to blow up anywhere else, he started doing Afro beats.
Okay, fair. He had to. He had to. His biggest songs are mostly like Afro Fella and Versace.
Before everything happened with Smee was performing all over the world, just purely off Vernac. Sanbonani, Inkosi Benani, Umalumu Kokati, and Spara Origami. Negative energy.
But why hasn't there been a hip hop artist doing that these days?
Because
I haven't heard anyone do that in a long time.
Here's another thing that's here's another thing that's a problem for me. We're gonna have to cut this at some stage.
Yeah.
Here's another thing that's a problem for me is that there's no actual musicians in studio. That's why you can't get that moment where there's a catchy hook, there's a chorus. So because people are musicians, you'd find like Exhibit A with Chrysler. Exhibit B with Herc.
Chrysler's dope.
That's why they can give you that vernac. They can give you that African sound without playing banjos, without playing the drums. There's that thing they connect you with, right?
100%.
CK makes music in English, but the production from Chrysler you can hear right? So with that, for me, I think we need more musicians in production. There's a lot of beat makers. I think we need more musicians. Right?
I think we need more producers.
And secondarily, I think we need better rollouts. So this is when you come in. Because I figured if you guys are the publishing platforms, at some stage you got to get into the record label.
Here's my problem about...
You need to get in the business of record labeling.
Bro, trust me, I am. Like, I work with almost all the record labels in SA right now.
No, you have to be the record
label. I must be the record label. Okay, that's crazy. That's crazy. I haven't thought about that. But here's my problem around when it comes down to record labels, because I feel like they could do more. Record labels like to say, here's what we want, here are the things we want to post, and then here's the money. You know what I mean? And then I look at it, I'm like, okay, I see what you guys want, but like, wouldn't you like it if we handled that? Because sometimes our rollout is different.
But that's literally why you need to be the record label. That's why the maintenance and substance of Waffles keeps going, because the marketing machine is still Creative Corner.
Yeah.
They still understand the clientele they're talking to, so demographic-wise, event capture-wise. That's why Mati is the one who's
So you need to jump into the record part. See, thing is, my problem, the reason I haven't is because...
You know the guys at Spotify, you could distribute yourself, bro.
Oh, that I know.
So be the change you want to see.
No, don't get me wrong. We have actually worked on two projects with, piano project and a hip hop project with a couple of the new kids. Dope. Like I'm talking, they all hot. You know what I mean? It is something I am like. Sometimes I'm interested in, like, yo, if I grab these kids and I push them, But at the same time, I'm also not trying to duplicate what Creative Corner is doing. That's my whole reason behind it. I don't want to compete in a market where you are my challenge. You know what I mean? Yes, we can go head to head. Not saying you're going to win or I'm going to win, but we can go head to head, But at the same time, sometimes, bro, you need to let people shine. You cannot put 5 rappers under a record label and then expect that they're all going to blow up. Most likely one is going to get mostly the shine. Once that one gets the shine, you're going to jump to the other one. That's how it is.
Man.
So you think everyone can blow up?
Of course he proved it.
Who proved it?
Ambitious.
Ambitious proved it, but Ambitious did it in a very fugazi way, eh?
We're cutting the cameras. What's your word to the youth?
Personally for me, but okay, Ambitious did it. Shout out to Ambitious.
What's your word to the youth?
Yo, man, consistency. Don't forget the dream. Never forget the dream. And y'all need to go hard, man. Make everything a reality. I know sometimes you get tired. Sometimes you feel like giving up, But never focus on the negativity of everything. Focus on the strong side. Focus on the positivity. Wake up strong. Wake up feeling good. Even if you're having a bad day, man, just think about it like everything happens for a reason. God always has a plan. He always has a destiny. If something bad is happening today, there's a bigger plan coming. So focus on that. Do what you gotta do. Don't forget to pray. And, show love, Culture's by your side. You are a collector, I'm a collector, everyone else is a collector. We're all collecting something in this world. Whether we're collecting it with our eyes, whether we're collecting it with our mouth, or however we're collecting it, we're all collectors. So do your thing, shine. You know, like Ricky said, we never die, we multiply. And that's just the way forward. Big love. Now, wow.
Khona Jude Ndiphi, special episode. Sindiswe sikumvelisa inqanga. Ntombi ngicela ukisa manonina. Umfana onokisa sunlight nentelezi.
Danko.